Oh, dude, Dave Langer, my bad, bro. Well, thanks for stopping by and dropping a comment, dude. Can you hear me, by the way? It's going pretty good, dude. Just chilling. About to try to get rid of this ugly hauler that I've got. I've been trying to get the sword of Sabash. What's going on, John? Happy to have you stop by, man. KJ, what's going on, dude? I can't stream too long today because I've got to go, and so me and my dad are gonna go see the new John Wick movie, John Wick 3, Parabolum. So that movie's at 3:45 and it's 1:21 my time. So, but figured I'd throw a stream up while I do some hauler hunting, trying to grab me a little sword of Sabash. I don't know if you could have heard me then, guys, or not, but I had to step away for a second. My dad had called to confirm times and wanted to know if we should eat lunch and stuff like that. So, but I said I'm online. All right. So apparently this is a first wave ship. So You gotta play the roll the dice game on this one. Whoa, what am I missing? Oh, dude, I missed the symbol. Embarrassing. Okay, let's try this again, and then I'll get caught up in the chat. All right. Sunset, sunset. Diplodocus. Dragonfly. Triforce. Tesseract. Triforce. Death Star. Hands up. Lightbulb. Tiki face. Spider. Alright. Oh, very cool, KJ. Just saw what you said there about permadeath mode. Dave Langer, yeah, dude. All the John Wick movies are pretty dope. So I heard the third one actually beat Avengers Endgame for opening weekend box office record. So kind of crazy when you consider not that long ago John Wick was an indie movie. Know what I mean? Well, Dave, I don't want to go eat with my dad right now. I just started streaming. Plus, I'm honestly not that hungry. I told him that he could get something, you know, before he came over here. So, .com, what is up, my man? Thank you for stopping by. It's gonna be a short stream and probably a boring one, guys. You know, obviously, that's not a good sales tactic. But yeah, I'm just hunting a hauler. So. Don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been busy on the channel lately, so I did 2 edited uploads, and before that a live stream, all within the last 5 or 6 days. So just trying to bring some content. Johnny B in the chat, what is going on, dude? Oh, #1 for that week. Okay. Dude, whenever Johnny B comes to the chat during like a ship hunting session, I always end up getting what I'm looking for in that moment. What a really cool, like... That portal is like recessed. That's sick. Like in the ground. What? Okay. Alright, so let's call down the ship I want to swap. Nope, I like that one. There's the ugly bugger. So, true story, I've had the Sword of Sabash before. Or at least a ship that looked exactly like it. But after the next update, it transformed into this thing. Which I'm not very fond of. Alright. Good point, KJ. Yeah, if you guys sit with sword for 3 hours, reloading saves and stuff like that, then yeah, you're right. Because this stream will probably, you know, be an hour or something like that, you know, so. But I just wanted to catch up with everybody, you know. Alright, pulse drive. Boom. Take care, Dave. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna like the movie, man. And I really appreciate you stopping by, dude. Dave. Alright. And sure enough, first wave, there she goes. Ah, what a beauty. Look at you, you sexy thing. Watch it be S-Class first try. Stream over. That would have been so cool. Like, part of me, like, half anticipated that it was gonna be an S-Class, like, right off the get. Alright. So let's reload. Yes, it is, John. It definitely is. Um, I will argue, though, that my other hauler at least equally looks as good, if not slightly better. So the other hauler that I have, which Caroline Kelly gave me the name for, Kestrel Huntress, which is just gangster because it's a bird of prey. But the wings, they come out from the fuselage, tilt up a bit, and then they're very large, wide wings. And I like things that are like, I guess, reasonably aerodynamic. I know it's a sci-fi game, but yeah. Johnny V says, "Not good enough. I'll try harder." I know, dude. You always bring the good juju, man. But hey, that was just one roll, dude. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. J Spot in the chat. What is going on, J Spot? John Hall says, "Nice short runway too. I always hate when awesome ships are in the first wave, but the station runway is long. PlayStation 4 is so slow." Wait, do different space stations have different runway lengths? Is that true? It's not true. There's no way. Really? I'm tripping. Yeah, I like the big soaring eagle wings. Exactly, KJ, yeah. Oh no, am I lagging? Like, is the stream lagging, or like me, like, understanding the context of the chat? Alright, let's reload. So .com, I have good luck finding max slot haulers, but they always seem to be A class. Getting a 48 slot S class can sometimes be a drag, bro. Like I've spent days before, days, like 3 to 4 hours a session for days to get an S class to hit. The percentage of them rolling through is very low. That's why you have to like reload, kind of re-roll the RNG, manipulate things as best you can. But yeah, dude, it's literally, I love ship hunting, but it's a drag. I hope they make that easier in the next update, but I know that Sword disagrees with that. He likes the process of having to mess around with the RNG to get the ship that he wants, because it's sort of like a mechanic, right? Whereas like if you could just go to a shop and buy one, it takes the fun out of hunting them. But they could balance it. They could make it to where for like absorbent amounts of money you can buy like the exact ship that you want, but if you happen to find one like crashed or by some other means, it might have like better stats, things like that. Dude, Peaceful Gamer in the chat, what's going on, bro? Yeah, guys, if the stream lags, like I'm telling you right now, like, which is why the channel lately has, I've been doing more uploaded content, just because streaming can be so frustrating on my internet connection. It's like one day it's awesome, and then like another day it like drops and lags and cuts out. Sometimes I get really lucky though, like Peaceful Gamer, like, yeah, it can take a lot of hours to catch one, but sometimes I get lucky and like in 30-40 minutes I'll catch an S class. Like I got two fighters that way. They were very, very quick to get. So guys, I know this isn't like the speculation station live stream, and not to get into too much speculation, but what are you guys hoping for in the Beyond update? We know we're getting No Man's Sky Online. We know we're getting VR. No one knows what the third component is, but what do you hope for most in the update? I'm really excited about VR. Literally, it could have nothing. Like, I'm fine with the game for the most part the way that it is. There's a few quality of life improvements that I want. There's a few mechanics that I think would work well with the game. But if the game didn't change at all, and the update just included VR, that would still make me really, really happy. So I'm really excited about the VR, aspect of it, because it's so immersive. The VR experience, like exploring the planets, the caves, the oceans in VR, sitting in your ship cockpit looking around in VR, that's what I'm the most excited to see. Like, there's not a universe that I could imagine where that's that's bad. So oh, you got your exotic to land in 2 minutes? Yeah, sometimes the exotics are really fast. The worst kind of ship to hunt actually are the squids. By far they are the worst. The absolute worst. It takes forever for them to show up, and then when like a 15 slot shows up or something like that, it's like you just want to go jump off a bridge. I'm gonna reload again. I really think Beyond is going to be version 2.0. We are at 1.7 currently, and there are 3 parts. Yeah, I said that right from the get-go, John. I agree with you 100%. Like, I think basically it's just gonna it's gonna jump ahead to No Man's Sky 2.0. It's gonna be huge. Whatever it is, it's gonna be huge. Like I don't want to get my mental concepts too lofty in terms of like what I think it's going to be, but they always surprise us, right? It's like we always get more than we bargained for. The updates are always bigger than we think they're going to be, and it's so that's really exciting. People get lost in the 3 component thing. They think that because that there's 3 components that somehow that means that like let's say No Man's Sky Online, No Man's Sky VR, and let's say the third one is space. That somehow that is going to stop us from getting variety and AI and no, all of those things are going to be in there. Even when they drop the trailer that shows like the new version and all the features, it still doesn't show everything. Like you have to go to the website and look at the full list of patch notes to see everything that they add. They never skimp. They always add so much content. It's ridiculous. Peaceful Gamer says, I'm confused about these components because online and VR don't say anything about the update, just different ways to play No Man's Sky. So will Component 3 be another way to play Beyond, or will it be Beyond itself? That's a good point. I never really thought of it that way. Because No Man's Sky Online is just a different way of playing No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky VR is just a different way of playing the same game. So, yeah, so maybe the third component is the Beyond update. I never really thought of it like that. That's it could very well be. I still think it's going to be space, personally. I really do. .com says, I would like to see more base building parts, better and more options there. I'm with Sword on the turn in all missions at once option. That, yeah, very true. Like, for a game developer, Hello Games is really bad at adding features that feel like it's a game. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain, like, just basic things where there's no doubt that they've developed a masterpiece, right, from a programming standpoint. But when it comes to like the playability aspects of it, there's just like really like weird things. Like I forgot. I think it was, who was I watching? Because I want to make sure that I give this person credit. Might have been Legacy Zero. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was Legacy Zero. I was watching a video from Legacy Zero where he said, "Why didn't Hello Games separate your mods that you add to your exosuit, like your technology and stuff like that, to your exosuit and your spaceship? Why didn't they separate that from like your inventory slots? Like they should be two different things." And that's very true. Like, because the more modifications that you add to your character, the more limited your inventory storage becomes. And most games have those two things separated. You know, it's like little things like that it's like they can improve on. You know. KJ says, I think we're all hoping that the third component has new stuff in it, but I'm really happy with the game, so it's all a bonus. Exactly. Like, I've said that all along, every time. Like, I was happy with the game that came out, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, my expectations for the game were a little different than the game that actually launched, but I love that game. I actually bought the digital copy the moment it became available, so I didn't have to like drive out and get it. And I don't really like to pre-order games, so I bought the digital copy. But I liked the original release so much that I actually went back out and bought the physical copy, so that every now and again I can just delete everything off my PlayStation, keep a save backup of like Next or whatever update's currently out, and then just play the original like release of the game. I loved all the dead planets. It was so much harder to find lush planets. That overwhelming feeling of like lonely, you know, and like just the absence of so many things. Like it really captured the feeling that I was hoping it would capture. So I like the original release. So everything that has come out so far has just been icing on the cake. Like, yeah, we can sit there and like, you know, jump back and forward talking about different things that it could be improved, or different features that could be added, but at the end of the day, like, I really enjoyed the game. I would still be happy just playing the day one version. There for as many planets as I've been to, like, there are, every now and again something will still happen, or I will see something that surprises me or that I've never seen before. And people talk about the game like having a variety problem. I don't think that the variety problem is that big. Like, should there be more variety? Yes. But they should make what you see much more rare. That would also help with the variety. I've said that from the very beginning. if they made it harder to find life in the universe, that would really, really help with not seeing the same sorts of things over and over and over and over. But when you talk about like variety in our own solar system, for example, you know, in our own solar system, we've got a couple of planets that are gas giants, and then everything else is basically like dead rocks with hardly anything on them, you know. Now there might be cool things like liquid methane oceans and stuff like that, but I mean it's like, you know, people say, oh, I don't like how there's a ringed planet in every system. Well, in our solar system we have 2 ringed planets. Not that unusual. It's pretty common, you know. So it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The variety problem isn't as big as people make it out to be, in my opinion. It just isn't. The problem the game has is that there's an over availability of planets that contain life forms. So that it increases the likelihood of you seeing similar life forms over and over and over and over. Give me more dead planets like the original game. You know? So that when after 20, 30, you know, hyperspace jumps, I come across a lush planet and I'm blown away. You know? But I might be in the minority on that thought. My man Sword, what's up, Panda? What's up, Panda Crew? Sword in the chat. What is going on, dude? Thank you for stopping by. What we got, Sandarin Pillay. Haven't seen you in a while, Sandarin. Thank you for stopping by. Glad to have you here. Well, I guess I haven't seen you in a while because I probably haven't streamed in a while. But either way, glad to have you. John Hall says, I have my wish list of items, of course, most of which I don't think we'll actually be getting, and I have my thoughts of what I think we'll actually get. Yeah, I mean, John, it's important to talk about that stuff, right? Like, I disagree with people who dislike speculation or speculation videos and stuff like that, or, you know, they don't think that it helps. I think it helps a great deal. You know, think about what we have in the game now that was speculation 6 months ago, you know, or a year ago. It's like, I think that when Hello Games looks at the community, how they play the game, what sorts of things they're trying to do that the game doesn't make easy, and things that people are saying they'd like to see or that they're speculating about, I think helps inform Hello Games on the direction of their development process. So yeah, you know, it's okay to like wish for things that you're pretty sure aren't going to happen, because they'll see that, and if enough people want the same thing and it's something that, you know, that they can do realistically, I think they would do it, you know. Got a generic in the chat. I missed you earlier. It says, I like how Sean said it would make sense to release the 3 components together, but not talk about all of the components together. I know, he's like dragging us out, man. He's like, it's like foreplay that's too long, dude, you know? Alright, let's reload again. Stark Wolf in the chat says, working lurk. Very nice, dude. Thank you to stop by. Says, hey, FDI fam. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, FDI fam. Hey, Galactic Hub fam. Hey, UAS fam. Hello to all of the No Man's Sky community. John Hall says, I think space will be a big part of it, but I think ships will be getting updates or overhauls. Possibly tech, new weapons, exotic subtypes, things like that. I know. Well, and I just spent a whole bunch of time, like, you know, doing all the tech in my exosuit and a lot of my spaceships. And I have a feeling that when Beyond hits, like, just like with what happened with Next, it'll essentially make most of the tech obsolete, and then we're going to have to start over anyway. Because I think you're right. I think the way that ships and everything go is going to completely change. Also, check this out. I'm going to show you guys a hint of ship customization. I always feel like Hello Games puts like little Easter eggs in here. Look at this. See how those different components are highlighted like in red? It's almost like, you can change out the individual components. I think that's how it'll work in the next update. You come into the space station, you go to the thing, and then you're going to be able to pick the different things you want on the ship, Like, I think, like, we're getting hard points, kind of like Elite Dangerous. J-Spot's looking forward to quality of life updates. Tatsuma says, so what are we waiting for? Tatsuma, I am hunting this hauler in an S-Class 48 slot. So just playing some dice rolls with the RNG here to try to get an S-Class to pop. My hauler that I have currently is very, very ugly, and I want to get rid of it. Ugly to me. Some people might like it, but it's I don't like the look of it. It's got a kink in the neck, little itty bitty wings. It's just really, really strange looking. Not one of my favorites. So it's gonna be a boring stream, guys. Lots of reloads, and it also is not gonna be a very long stream because I'm gonna hang out with the pops. KJ says, I think it's a choice with inventory. It's a game of strategy, so I have a game running that doesn't need 12 S-Class hazard protection modules. I have all those spaces. It's just a choice. Yeah, but I mean, I still think that they should be separate, I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, I don't know. I might be in the minority there. All right, John Hall says, I think that Hello Games will let the user decide on what they put where, and they give you enough tech slots that you still have a good character and also a huge inventory space. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm suffering, right, with the way that it's set up, but it just the way that Legacy Zero kind of broke it down, I pretty much agreed with it. But yeah, I mean, it's not like it makes it particularly hard. A lot of people complain about the inventory system. I really don't mind it. It could be better, but I've gotten used to it, and I don't mind it. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately. That has a pretty good inventory system as well. But it's like your on-hand inventory is different than your weapon inventory and, all that kind of stuff. So. Sander, and I agree with you. Yeah, I think at the very least, Component 3 reveal and a trailer is imminent because the game went on a 50% off selling spree pretty much everywhere. So they always do that just before any sort of a release comes out because they want to get as many people buying the game as possible. So plus they're about to make a whole grip of money again because Sean Murray said that they're going to be doing a re-release of the game on PlayStation 4 and it's probably going to have new box art and everything like that. So I would imagine them making a whole nother stack of cash just based on that. You really got to give it to them. They've proved that a developer can make money just by adding game content and attracting new players as opposed to taking the approach of like emptying the pockets of the existing players. You know what I mean? Like let's say that you bought the full version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey with with everything in it, like $100. And then there's like DLC, and you can buy like Helix credits with so there's microtransactions and different things like that. It's like they're taking customers that have already bought the game and then continuing to charge them to access certain features and hide things behind paywalls and shit. Whereas Hello Games is like, okay, well, we just spent a whole bunch of man hours developing this update, so we're just going to make the update so good and add so many new features and so many new reasons to play that it's going to attract new people to purchase the game. So it's like they're funding the development, the ongoing development of No Man's Sky through new game purchases, as opposed to a feeding frenzy on existing players' wallets. I think it's very respectable, and I think that it'll set a tone for gaming moving forward. That the whole microtransactions and all that kind of stuff is just not a good way to go about it. I'm going to take a moment here to get caught up on the chat in just a second, and then I'm going to pour myself a nice scotch on the rocks. Alright, so let's get caught up. Peaceful Gamer says, I canceled my collector's edition and got the digital and bought the PS4 disc version when it dropped to fit. Yeah, dude. Exactly right. There are many, including you, Panda, that probably have more tech installed than you really need. Oh, I for sure do. Somebody told me, here, I'll show you. Somebody told me that this was absolutely fucking redundant right here. And I didn't know that. I thought that by stacking 3 that you got bonuses, but you don't. You don't. You're not. It's not adding anything extra to have all of these. At least it doesn't seem like it. And like Sword said, you can just reduce the slots here, add some of this other technology over there, and then just keep, you know, the power cells in your inventory to recharge your hazard protection. So I've completely gone the wrong way regarding getting all this stuff set up, you know. So there's no doubt about it. Sword says, Panda, you better enjoy all the quiet and loneliness you can, because in 7 more months that stuff is over. Oh, I know, with like, you know, the kiddo crying and all that kind of, yeah, you know, but I'm okay with that. I'm not a person that gets irritated by that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I'm sure after several months of it, it'll be pretty bad. So we're gonna have to deal with a lot of crying, a lot of screaming, a lot of shitting, a lot of throwing up. It's all coming. Whoa, we got Wizard in the chat. What is going on, Wizard? Sword says hashtag Panda Cub. Wizard, I checked out your Vormir base in FDI the other day with your additions that you've made, at least from what I've seen that you've uploaded. That's gonna be so killer, bro. I love what you did there. I'm gonna have to make another video again revisiting that base. Great job, by the way. J-Spot, yes, atmospheric effects. I want tornadoes. I want lightning. I want weather phenomena. I want to hear thunder, you know, like crack it off in the distance. Imagine like you're walking on the top of a mountain, okay, and off in the distance is a storm cloud, and you can see lightning flashing in the cloud and hear thunder and like lightning striking the ground off in the distance, you know, and like just stuff like that. I don't think it would be difficult to do, and it would add so much density to the game environment, you know. I'm on board with that, guys. Yeah, Wizard says lightning and thunder. Exactly, dude. KJ says, I don't do a lot of speculation or talking about updates on my channel, but I appreciate what those videos do for our community. I think I'm still trying to show people how much there is to do. Yeah, dude, you know, if you were to go like on Reddit or something like that and ask people like what they thought about this channel and like speculating, I'm probably like one of the more disliked people in the community from that regard. And it's sort of like what's going on now just in pop culture, like with Game of Thrones and Star Wars and, you know, the Marvel situation, all these different things. People have their own ideas. They get wrapped up in their own speculations and their own expectations. And then when those things don't happen, it's somehow the content creator's fault, right? Or the director's fault, or, you know, the whatever the topic is. It's the fault of the person putting the content out, that somehow your personal expectations were not met. And it's not the creator's job to meet your expectations. They create a piece of art, and people either like it or they don't, or a piece of media, and people either like it or they don't, right? My rule on this channel is speculation without expectation. Okay, that's it. We are adult enough that we can come up with cool ideas and concepts and talk about things that we think or we'd love to see implemented without those things becoming expectations, so that if we don't get them, we don't have a bunch of grown men crying everywhere, you know? I feel like everybody on the internet right now is just a bunch of crybabies. Like, speculating is fun. It's fun and it's enriching, and I think it contributes a conversation to the community, as well as possibly feeding some ideas to Hello Games that they may not have thought of, you know? I feel that by speculating, I actually serve an important role in the overall development of No Man's Sky and in the community abroad and other channels as well that do the same. Your Legacy Zeros and your, you know, your Procedural Traveler and MZKs out there, Cobra TVs, you know, I think it's a positive thing. It just takes an adult to really like handle it and know how to utilize it. But yeah, like at one point there was a whole Reddit post about how my channel was toxic and how, you know, content creators like me were bad for the community and making the problem worse and all this, you know. It's just like, okay, I completely disagree with that assessment, you know. But yeah, I'm right there with you, KJ. It's like yeah, dude, like let's appreciate the people that are taking time to speculate. The people that I have an issue with is your confirm artist out there, your clickbaiters, people who'll put in the title like, you know, this thing confirmed, but it's not confirmed. You know, there's no evidence for like what they're saying. It's just a theory. It's just a piece of speculation, and they're doing a disservice to their audience by not saying that it's speculation. You know. Tatsuma says, Ruin World, Volcano World, Desert World, Frozen World, like Jupiter's moon, Europa. Yes, Tatsuma, exactly, yes. Tatsuma, what about planets with multiple biomes? Can we get some of that, you know? John Hall says, as far as a wish list item, I would love to see the Horizon Zero Dawn weapon wheel as a method of... Yes, dude, that was another thing that Legacy Zero talked about, was instead of sort of like this grid, like having a wheel, you know, that like Horizon Zero Dawn or Assassin's Creed utilizes. Great suggestion, John Hall. I love that idea. .com says, JSpot, do you mean multiple biomes on a single planet? I'd really like that. Dude, that's what... Yes. Yes. You know. I still want planets that are all lush or all desert or all snow, but then I would love to see planets that are a combination of all of the above, that have distinct continents with different climates that you can visit. It would make exploring that planet much more interesting, because you can cover a portion of a planet in this game and then be done, and you're like, okay, I don't need to see the rest. But imagine where the planet itself having multiple biomes will drive you to go explore different regions and continents of the planet, you know, and it would increase the amount of time you spend on a particular planet exploring. Because that's what, better than anything else, that's what this game excels at, is not the space, not the mechanics, not the none of that. This game excels at when you get out of your ship and you put your foot on the surface of a planet. That's where this game is the star, right? Is you know, exploring planets and things like that. So Peaceful Gamer says, clues hidden in plain sight. Exactly. Deuce X Mankind Divided had a really good weapon and consumable wheel menu for selection. You know, I have that game and I've not really played it much, but I did like the vibe of it. I need to revisit that game and check it out. I don't like the duck necks. Exactly. I hate that fucking shit, dude. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead because I'm so far behind, I think, on the chat. But anyway, if there was something that I didn't get to that you guys want me to read or to get to, just repost it in the chat. But I jumped down so that I can get caught up. Sword says, my next stream title will be Chill Stream Confirmed. Damn you, Sword, you son of a bitch. Don't you dare do that. Don't be that guy, bro. Hey, real talk, I did that before, and I got tore to pieces by the community. I put out a video called No Man's Sky, Submarines Confirmed. Oh, dude, did I eat shit on that video. People went off on me, deservedly so, because it was not confirmed. It definitely was not confirmed. All Sean Murray posted was prawn curry, and I thought for some fucking reason it would be a great idea to go out there and make a video, a speculation video saying that submarines were confirmed. And that video got a lot of views and a lot of likes, but man, the comment section, people were saying some pretty awful shit. Like they went hard on your boy. More pulp sci-fi starships. Yeah, or just like different designs, like we've got the main categories, right? You've got your exotic ships, you've got your haulers, your shuttles, all that kind of stuff. But it would be cool to see like more different kinds, like I really want the ability to pilot my freighter and my frigate. I really do. I hope the game eventually goes to where the solar system doesn't feel like a level selection menu, and then the planets are just levels that you select. I want them to open it up so that I personally can fly my freighter from star system to star system, and then me and a bunch of my friends can get into a frigate and take the frigate down to a planet. Think of it like a big like Spanish galleon back in the old days, or like cruise ships now, right? The cruise ships can't dock like normal because close to the shore, the sea level is too low for a ship that large to dock. So the ship anchors way offshore, and then you take little boats to shore, right? I want the freighters to be like that. I want the freighters to be like, I fly my freighter into a star system, and then I can jump into my frigate with my friends, and my friends... Oh, I might have fucked up. I took too long. Let's hope that wasn't the S-Class. The frigate can house my like squad's ships, and then you can fly down to a planet and with the frigate and land the frigate, and then you and your friends can dispatch from the frigate. Maybe you can store exocraft in there or something, like I want to see more done with that. I think that is such a big opportunity for awesome gameplay value, that it's a shame that if they don't take advantage of it, it that's got to happen. Let's say like my vision for No Man's Sky Online is like an MMO style, but you can have your own squad. Your squad could be 4 players. I don't care. It doesn't have to be 16. You can see many other people in the world, but you're like sort of like Destiny. Your fire team, your squad is like 4 people, right? But you can still see other players and their squads in the game world. But you and your squad can all set up on a frigate and fly it, together or something, I just there's such a missed opportunity there. But anyway, KJ says, Panda, you were right, man. So people need to eat their words. What was I right about? I might have missed something there. I've always wanted Hello Games to think bigger, as in massive, huge ships that can collect whole planets' resources. Yeah, like, what about, like, mining drones? You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's ever thought of that. Like if you're somebody who owns like an S-Class freighter, it doesn't even have to be an S-Class, maybe you can pull up to like a gas giant and like dispatch like drones or satellites that would go down and collect certain resources. That'd be very interesting. Like you said, Wizard, there's so many opportunities there. I think there's a lot of people who say this is going to be like the last major update for a while, and to a degree, I believe that. But I think that we're getting the Minecraft effect. I think that this one game is going to be in many more years of development with adding content and features. I don't see this ending anytime soon with this game at all. Tetsumis, I don't know why you deleted this message. You didn't really need to. But it says, just imagine ethics of all this space civilization. Someone wants to fuck you by rockets. Someone wants to fuck you by tentacles. Oh shit, now I see why. Some just hates because you are primitive. KJ says, you were right about the submarines. I mean, yeah, it seemed like a logical step to get submarines. And they could have actually done it with No Man's Sky next, but they needed the Abyss first. They needed to redo the landscape to make oceans deeper, so that having a submarine would make sense. So I think that even as far back as when I made that video, I think that they planned on having submarines, but they needed an update like Abyss to get there. Two of my favorite updates, like updates, not overhauls, like I'm not talking foundations and all that kind of stuff. Two of my favorite updates were the Abyss update, and then like I love that update, and then Pathfinder, because Pathfinder wasn't a major overhaul. It just like improved graphics and a bunch of stuff, but it didn't like really overhaul anything. But Pathfinder was like planets and shit with and the exocrafts. Pathfinder killed it. It took like 3 patches in Pathfinder because originally, wherever you put your exocraft geobay, it was kind of like stuck on that planet. Like you couldn't, like it was in that system in that one area. You had to you couldn't do another one, and then they fixed it. But yeah, like the Abyss update and Pathfinder, like they were my 2 favorites. I don't know why specifically. I think it was more of the feeling of the update, the way that the game felt, the way that planets looked afterward. I love those updates. They're my 2 top favorite. And I wasn't right about submarines. It was just like a wild guess, right? Like that's what speculation is. And it just so happened that that's what we ended up getting. But I would like to think that all of the talk of submarines around that time kind of helped push that idea forward. I would like to think. Imagine fully organic planets where aliens united with planets. And yes, Tutsimus, you've talked about this before in the chat. I love this idea. Guys, Tutsimus has this idea for No Man's Sky. He hasn't elaborated on it yet, but he has before in the past in the chat. And for anybody that thinks that I don't remember conversations that I remember all of you guys, by the way. But Tutsimus talks about the hive mind. You know, where basically like a particular planet or a species on a planet are part of like a hive mind. And that's such an interesting and cool idea where it's like ants or bees, you know? Kind of like Ender's Game, the creatures, you know, in Ender's Game. Tariq says, Panda, I had the same idea about a year ago with the drones. See, bro? Great minds think alike. That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Panda, I feel like Hello Games is working on creature variations and adding new creature parts. Yeah, of course they are. 100%. It'd be stupid for them not to. Something funny. The region of space that Coda is in censored by the PlayStation banner. Wait, what? J-Spot, can you elaborate on that? This is the second time I've seen the word coda, and I don't know what that refers to or what that is. So if you could help explain it for me, that would be terrific, because I'm lost on that. I for some reason I don't know anything about that. By the way, guys, I really appreciate you guys stopping by the stream today. So. Your support of this channel has helped the channel grow to currently 825 subscribers. So that is just absolutely beautiful, guys, and I really appreciate all the support. So my last video regarding will No Man's Sky become an MMO that I dropped a couple of days ago, that video is at 304 views. And the other video, the speculation that I did with about what Component 3 might be, is over 1,000. So you guys are helping this small channel get some attention and grow, and I really appreciate it. So I do this to be able to hang out with you guys and to make new friends online, and new people to play No Man's Sky with and talk about No Man's Sky with. And so it means a lot to me that you guys are here and supporting the channel. And make sure that you guys are supporting each other also. Support, you know, if you guys are here, but you're not subscribed to Sword, make sure that you subscribe to Sword's channel, you know. Make sure that you subscribe to Marty Merrick and all the people out there that create content for No Man's Sky. We're all one big community. And this game is alive because of us, you know. Yeah, there are big channels out there that have been covering No Man's Sky for a long time, like Cobra and stuff like that. But there are a lot of bandwagon channels that they do bring positive attention to No Man's Sky. But now that No Man's Sky is somewhat popular again and is being discussed in a positive way, those people are just jumping on the bandwagon and covering No Man's Sky for easy views. But your channels that are the small channels, like your Hidden Panda Show channels and Sword and Ivy Mike and Richard Huntington and Stretchy Cat, who doesn't really cover No Man's Sky anymore, and you know, stuff like that. During the dark times, those channels were covering No Man's Sky. When it wasn't cool to be a No Man's Sky fan, when we were getting trolled and getting a lot of hate and discrimination in the chats during live streams and on videos, you know. And so just make sure that you guys are all supporting each other. Make sure that you guys click on KJ's link and you know, sub to KJ's channel, and you know, we're all one big happy family. And you know, Hello Games recognizes it, notices it, and you know, whether people choose to acknowledge it or not, it's why the community's still here, why we still have No Man's Sky, that's continuing to be developed, you know. If we wouldn't have stuck together, then Hello Games wouldn't have had a reason to continue to work on the game. And they've talked about that, how easy it would have been to just walk away or run away from No Man's Sky. But they didn't because of us, and let's make sure that we continue to support the small channels out there, you know. So. But I just wanted to, you know, give a big thanks to you guys for supporting this channel, and it almost, you know, it almost makes me want to cry. Because when I started this channel a year and a half ago with Hidden Jew, you know, we didn't think in a million years that we were going to have 50 subscribers. You know, we would be doing live streams and there'd be 3 or 4 people watching the live stream, and 2 of them were us, and we were happy with that, you know. And you know, here we are, you know, we've got 207 comments, 20 people watching, and 825 subscribers, 21 people watching, and it blows my mind every day. So thank you guys. What we got? Slade. I see the word Slade. Is Slade here? Is Slade here? Did I miss Slade? Anyway. There is lore for what Tetsumas is talking about. In the first abandoned building, we read about the thing that has taken over. How the writer said he should not have been there. The Cult of the Atlas. Yes, hashtag Cult of the Atlas. P1 stream in the chat. What is going on, dude? Welcome back. Abandoned building lore is still a bit of a mystery. Yes, dude. I've had several in-depth conversations a long time ago with empty benches about No Man's Sky lore. And I gotta be real with you guys. I know that Greg Buchanan added a lot more lore with Atlas Rises, and you know, there was some more lore that came with the next update. But I don't like the story aspects of No Man's Sky. It's cool, you know, your Artemis quest line and the Atlas Path and all that, it's cool. But I much prefer the more ambient, as you explore, coming across lore. I like that better. You know, discovering a building that has some lore inside, like that kind of thing. That I find much more interesting than a direct storyline. That's why, like, when I play games like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, and like Skyrim and Witcher, I get wrapped up in the side quest more than actually working towards the story. I don't like linear narratives. I'm more attracted to, I want to explore the game world, and then I discover lore as I explore. That's more of what I prefer to do. Let's see here. Peaceful Gamer says, "Smash that like button." Yeah, you sons of bitches, smash it, touch it, touch it. Just lightly, just brush your finger up against it. Just close your eyes while you do it. Take a deep breath and just push that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can hit thumbs down too. I honestly don't give a shit. The Cult of the Atlas system. Oh, Cult of the Atlas, Coda. Got it. That makes sense now. Guys, I'm slow. I'm so damn slow. Hey, who wants to be able to hold multiple multi-tools? I've been dreaming about that for a long time. I want a pistol and a rifle. Why not? Hello Games, if you're watching, make it happen. PlayStation gets an option for shaming. You can have a banner at the bottom of your screen. Imagine yourself on a planet where all aliens do some ants job, and you go through this crowd and they don't react to you. They just do their job and maintain their race. That's interesting until you disturb one of them, and then like they all sort of like, you know, like the queen or whatever becomes suspicious of you, and then they all turn against you. Yeah, I love the whole like hive mind concept. It's extremely interesting. You're an S class. I know it. I feel it in my bones. My bones lied to me. God damn it. There's Slade. I was like, I knew I saw Slade's name somewhere. It says, "What up, killers? What is going on, Slade? Welcome, dude." Oh, sword. Why'd you put my PayPal link, bro? Don't do that. I stopped advertising. Well, not advertising it, but I stopped putting it on the channel because it didn't feel right. But sword says, "Psst." Peaceful Gamer says, "I got all misty when Sean talked about the community in his talk." Yeah, dude, we kept them going. We kept them going, dude. I mean, they were being verbally abused. They had death threats online. Scotland Yard, you know, was investigating criminal intent. They had like security escorts out to their vehicles in the parking lot. I mean, it was bad. And think about during all of those dark times how nice it was for them or whoever to see somebody put a positive video about No Man's Sky, or somebody who loves the game doing a live stream. You know, like, we're part of the Hello Games story and the Hello Games family. And I think that we've tapped into something that eventually is going to change the way that it's going to redirect where the gaming industry's at. And I have a feeling that at some point there's going to be a documentary made about this experience, and I think that the community will be heavily featured in it. I just don't see how they couldn't be, you know. Tutsimus says, "Speak not with one alien, but with all race, one hive mind. Perfect organism." Yeah, dude, that would be sick. Sword says, "Let's see how many..." Sword. Don't do that, dude. KJ says, "Me too, Peaceful Gamer. It was so awesome to hear Sean actually say that they were watching. They're paying attention to us, and they care about what we think." They've hinted to it multiple times, but yeah, that was like one of the first times where he actually just came out and said it. Like, "Hey, we're looking at you guys, and we appreciate your contribution." You know, that it's part of why they keep working on the game. It's just so awesome. Whoa, hold on. Slade, you quit your job? Oh, dude, this is news to me. I didn't know that. I hope that your new job is much better, and I hope it pays you more. Or if it doesn't pay you more, I hope it at least brings you more happiness. You know, uh, quitting a job isn't always about money. You know, sometimes it's just you hate where you're at, and it might be worth it to take less money to do something different. You know, I've been there before. But whatever your reason for leaving, I hope it was a good one, and I hope that it's positive overall, man. John Hall says, I want the ability for a 2-weapon holster, but not so I can have two. If we get peer-to-peer multi-tool trading, I would want to procure a sweet multi-tool for someone and carry it to them in my extra multi-tool slot. That's cool. I want to be able to wield both. So here's what I mean. I want one multi-tool that's spec'd out specifically for scanning and finding resources and getting units from scanning and stuff like that, and then another specifically geared towards combat, a specific type of combat, you know. So it kind of helped to, because I'm an all-arounder. I like to do combat and stuff like that, but I also like to explore, you know. So I at least want to be able to have a different loadout. Peaceful Gamer says, it's okay, let Sword post it. Well, I mean, it's there, you know. Don't feel entitled to, but it would be much appreciated, you know. Yeah. I'd like to see the starships guns on our ships when in third person. You can. It really just depends on the style of your ship. Like, I've got a ship where the guns are like, the lasers are mounted to the top of the ship. You know, like here's one for example. The lasers are mounted on the top. You know, and when you're flying, you can see where they're coming from. When you think about previous versions of No Man's Sky, it was like a mystery every time you shot like a phase beam or something. It was like, where is that coming from? There's like there's no weapons on the ship. Yes, dude, get Sean on Cobra TV. I almost feel like Sean owes it to Cobra to do an interview on his channel. You know what I mean? Like, dude, just get on Discord and like get in an interview with Cobra, man. Sean, if you come across this video, dude, what are you doing? I don't think he realizes how much it would mean to the community for him to do that. No luck yet, damn it. Yeah, Peaceful Gamer. If there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's that like money isn't everything, and I'd much rather take a job that paid less money but brought me more happiness and fulfillment than to take a job I hate that paid more just so that I could have like more worldly things, you know, like more material possessions. Like fuck that, you know. Time is the one thing you can't buy. And any job that gives me more of my time back, more time with my family, respects my time more, you know, then that's the job I want, regardless of money. I'm a big believer in an app called OfferUp. You know, my new job pays me a lot less money than I used to make at my last job, but I really like this job. So I took a lot of my worldly possessions, portable speakers and all these little luxuries that I had, you know, around the house, cameras and things like that, and I sold that shit on OfferUp for some money. You know, me and my wife moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. We used to live in a house, you know, but I'm happier today than I was before, you know. So if there's anything I've learned in my 31 years of existence that I can bequeath to someone, some sort of knowledge that I could bestow, it's man, you know, do what you do based on happiness and based on, you know, like how it uses your time in a positive way, and don't base it on money, because you can't, money don't buy time. It doesn't buy relationships, it doesn't buy your family. You know, when my dad worked very hard and was absent for most of my life growing up, and when I think about the great income that my dad eventually ended up earning, and the nice life that we eventually had, um, I think about the good times. More of my best memories were when we didn't have a lot of money, but you know, the moments that I got to spend with my dad. You know what I mean? So it's like, you, your kids don't think about that. Like, you know, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting all like fucking philosophical and shit. But you know, when you look at the happiest countries in the world, the happiest countries in the world, they have peace of mind. They have some sort of social infrastructure so that they don't become and totally destitute if something, you know, bad happens. So that and they have a lot of time. Like when me and my wife went to Antigua, a couple of years ago, we met a guy there from Ireland who he had 5 weeks of vacation time that he was using in Antigua. 5 weeks. You know, and as a society, we're lucky if we get that, you know, here in the United States. It's like, and it's employer driven. It's not, there's nothing in our Constitution or Bill of Rights that mandates that we can have paid vacation time or paternity or maternity leave. It's not a federal law or anything like that. So you have to hope and pray that you work for an employer that values their employees enough and wants to have a competitive employee market enough that they offer you those things, you know. But the happiest societies in the world, most of those people don't have, like, you know, there's not like a lot of really wealthy people, but it's just the things that really matter, the things that are really important are there, you know. You have a kid, you can stay home and take care of your kid. You don't have to worry about money. You get sick, you go to the doctor, you don't have to worry about money. You know, you get laid off from work, you can get back on your feet, bounce back, pay your bills. You don't have to worry about money. You know? It's like that old saying, like, money's the root of all evil, man. But unfortunately, we need it. So, it's okay to hate money, but you just gotta make just enough. Ah, 48 slot A class, goddamn. Part of me almost just to get rid of my ugly ship, part of me almost just wants to go ahead and swap them anyway. But I can't, because my trade-in value with my existing S class will be so much better. But that was the first 48 slot that I've seen so far, so we're getting lucky. Yeah, dude, Sean does owe it to Cobra, bro. For real. Real talk. Dude, YouTube would probably break if he appeared on a sub... Dude. If Sean Murray actually showed up on Cobra's subcast, I would literally, like... I would become incontinent. I would not be able to control my body fluids, and everything that's inside of my bladder and my intestines would just fall onto the floor. Because that would go the furthest to proving to the community that Sean is here, is aware, and has his finger on the pulse of, like, this community. You know what I mean? I feel like he pays way too much attention to Reddit. I'm sorry, fuck Reddit. Reddit is toxic. I hate that place. Like, Amino, YouTube, Twitch, Like they're like focus on some of these content creators like Cobra, Legacy Zero, MZK, L Plays. Might go down in history as the most viewed single. No, yeah, dude, probably. TSS says, "Welcome to the Hidden Panda Show." What's going on, dude? Hell yeah, TSS. Glad to see you here, man. Happiness is my measure of wealth. Exactly, Peaceful Gamer. Exactly. I'd rather be happy than rich. Dude, I work in one of the wealthiest zip codes in all of America. Frisco, Texas. The average median income in Frisco, Texas is just under $100,000 per year. It's like 90 something thousand dollars per year. That's the average median income. That means that most of the people who work in the grocery stores and work at the retail stores and fix your car and all that, most of those people can't afford to live in Frisco. They're traveling to Frisco from outside Frisco. It's like one of the wealthiest areas in America. And I talk to a lot of customers every day, and I've got friends that live in that community, and you know what I find out? Most of those people, they're unhappy. Most of those guys, they're businessmen. They're traveling a lot. Their wives are home. They get lonely. They have needs. There's a lot of infidelity and cheating and unhappiness, and divorce rates are very high. So if there's anything that proves that it's not about money, like just look at a rich community and tell me how many people in those rich communities are happy, unbroken people. You know, it costs something to make that kind of money. It costs something inside. There's a cost, you know, to everything that we do. There's a cost, and for me personally, the price is too high. Give me 70 grand a year for the whole family, and I'm good. I can do a lot with that. I can live a decent life, you know. And I haven't sold my soul to get it, you know. It's like, dude, John, out of everybody in the community, Cobra definitely deserves it more, dude. He's just so legit, man. KJ says we are still struggling with equal pay here. Other places in the world have guaranteed pay. So it's, you know, so John Hall says, I like the idea of safety nets, but I'm also blessed to have one of those good jobs for a good company that values their employees. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And hopefully this doesn't become too political, because I have an interest in politics, and I follow politics very closely. In the United States, our capitalist system has allowed people of all different walks of life to achieve unprecedented levels of personal success and financial wealth. I don't want that to change. One of the best things about the United States is that somebody can come here from another country with nothing to their name and in 20 years become a multimillionaire or billionaire. You know? Or that a kid in the United States could be born into a house of poverty and become one of the wealthiest people in the entire country. Like that can happen here. But we need to be a more mixed economy. We don't need to go full-blown socialist, but we just need to become a mixed economy so that, you know, we take care of our downtrodden. This is a true statistic, and it's absolutely shameful. Of the entire industrialized world, so all of the world's wealthiest countries, America has one of the highest rates of childhood poverty. So the richest country in all of the entire world has one of the highest rates of childhood poverty. Think about that. we also have the highest in terms of our population size. We incarcerate more people than anywhere else in the world. We're number one in prisons. So we have like a quarter of the world's prison population. The United States puts a lot of people in jail. And I think that there's an important distinction to be made between democratic socialism and socialism. I think that we could successfully have a mixed economy where we can really reduce childhood poverty and where we could really reduce, people in America live long, but they live sicker because they're living with a lot of preventable and treatable illnesses because they can't afford to go to the doctor. There's a lot of kids going hungry. And I think that there's a direct correlation between poor communities and having a high rate of childhood poverty in the United States and also having one of the highest prison populations in all of the industrial world. The two things go hand in hand. If we attack the poverty problem, then we can solve the prison problem. Know what I mean? And that's my spiel without getting too political. I don't want the government dictating aspects of my life. I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't do, controlling the social aspects of my life, things like that. But I think that the government should play a more of a role in making sure that we don't have children starving to death, that we don't have people that leave our military and then become homeless on the street, or that we don't. A lot of the homeless people that I see, they're mentally unwell. They don't need to be on the street. They need to be institutionalized. Those people are just walking around in public, and a lot of them are committing crimes or stealing or getting abused or whatever. It's like it's an easy problem to fix. We just have to fix it. It's the country's too bipartisan right now. The conservative wing of the United States has a lot of really great ideas, and the liberal wing of the United States has a lot of really great ideas. They both also have a lot of really bad ones. So they need to find a way to compromise, but we've got to fix that in the United States, big time. I know, Sword, I know. It's easy for me to fall into that trap because I'm extremely interested in politics. So I've actually thought about setting up a separate channel specifically dedicated to it. But please be the S-Class. Damn it. Ooh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my scotch, actually. Peaceful gamer. uh, One thing I will say, Peaceful Gamer, is a lot of people over here look at Canada as like some sort of like bastion of like how everything should be, and you guys got your shit too, man. So it's like no place is fucking perfect, dude. But yeah, there's some things that everybody does well. We could take little bits of the good stuff, leave out the bad stuff. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has me thinking about that stuff kind of a lot because it's like about the birth of like democracy, and because you meet like like you go to Athens and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I've been thinking about that stuff a lot lately. If you guys haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you definitely should because that game is epic, dude. I love that. It's one of the best games I think I've ever played, and the the seafaring part of it reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games because of the whole pirate ship mechanic. So it's got that, and then they put you in one of the biggest maps I've ever seen in an RPG. It's ridiculously huge. Oh, 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 damn it. I thought for 1 second that was it. Oh, man. All right, guys, so I'm about to pour myself a 10-year-old glass of Glen Grant. Okay, if any of you guys are Scotch drinkers out there, I suggest that you give Glen Grant a try. They were established in 1840, and this is really, really good Scotch. Nothing fancy. It's not like the Balvenie that I normally talk about. The Balvenie, the 14-year-old Scotch is aged in rum casks, and it has more of like a bourbon color and sort of like a bourbon aroma to it. Whereas the Glen Grant is more of a traditional Scotch single malt, but it's very, very good, very smooth, easy to drink, neat, or on the rocks, and it's got a good sort of woody flavor to it. So I'm not sponsored by Glen Grant or anything, but I like a good Scotch or a good bourbon. Black Flag with the diggity, yeah, bro. People need one direct worldview. I mean, if everybody sort of Tutsumus is, if everybody sort of thought the same and had the same exact, I guess, if everything was under the same umbrella, I think it would definitely be easier. But I'm more scared of that than our differences, you know. It sounds like it'd be too easy for a particular person or family to have too much control. Dude, Black Flag is so sick. Peaceful Gamer says, I need to finish Origins, I guess, but I'm sort of turned off from the direction of the series. What do you mean? What do you mean turned off? Origins was great. I haven't finished it, but from what I played, Origins was awesome. But I've played them all out of order, so what I have to do is I have to watch a recap of all the storylines. Everything that's happened, like leading up to Odyssey, because I have no fucking idea what's been going on. So it's like, but yeah, no, the game's great, man. It's really good. My favorite thing about Origins was that it took place in Africa. It took place in Egypt, which was a time period and an era that we haven't seen, and so. The ability to be able to play as a person of color, I thought was a really great touch and a good idea. And the whole series has been about Europe or the United States or Canada. So to see it take place like in a northern African country, I thought was really great. And kind of, the hero or the character that you're playing is a person of African descent. And then I love how Odyssey allows you to pick between a male and female character. So I thought that was really well done. The Ezio trilogy was the best. See, I'm so far behind. I haven't played a lot of that kind of stuff. Save a few seconds per reload and scan the ship if it's not S-Class. Okay, I'll try that. See, KJ, there's different schools of thought on that, though. It's like, does me having an S-Class help attract another S-Class? Because the system will know that I won't settle for an A-Class if I've already got an S-Class? I don't know if it works like that. But I have heard that, to swap it out with an A-Class and see if an S-Class will pop sooner. But I wonder if there's any evidence to kind of support that. That would be interesting. Damn you. It is a pretty ship, though. The only thing that they need to fix is this. Like, hello games, what the fuck, man? Seriously? Oh, dude. It's the only thing about it I don't like. It's just like that's really that's gotta go, you know? Other than that though, it's cool. Whoa, that wing is straight up under. Taking chances there, man. Alright, so scan. Save. Reload. Okay, let's give it a go. Exactly, Peaceful Gamer. Assassin's Creed turned into God of War for something. No, it didn't. It's still very much story driven. I disagree with you, Peaceful Gamer. And God of War was a great game. Is it because the combat system just got a little bit more fleshed out and more dynamic? And actually, if I were to show you my character build out, all of my stats go towards assassin because you've got hunter, warrior, assassin. I love to play the game sneaking around, like scouting out, you know, the bandit camps or whatever, like figuring out how I'm going to take it down, you know, sneaking around, taking down one person at a time, assassinating them. I enjoy playing it that way more than just like hacking people to bits. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but you know, comparing it to God of War is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, that game got almost a perfect score, you know? It's like one of the biggest games PlayStation's ever sold. I love Egypt already, that's why I bought it, but it was a series based in history, not in mythology. Oh, got you. Yeah. With the gods and the, you know, the Isu and all that. J Rush in the chat, what's going on, dude? Johnny B says, not sure that Hidden's comments were political. They're more social issues. Both sides of the aisle will probably agree. Those things are problems. How you fix them becomes political, in my opinion. Yeah, the solution might be political, yeah, but there's no doubting the problems, but yeah. I mean, we're close to 2020. We'll see what happens, you know. But I think that things have gotten so divisive. It makes me sad, you know. I know for a fact, me and Sword, we have two completely different views on things. But I love Sword and consider him a close friend, you know, as far as close as friends on the internet can be, I suppose. You know, there are commonalities we all have, points that we can all agree on, you know. Let's see here. No, because you fight mythological gods. I'm not into that. Oh, yeah, see, I never beat Origins or Odyssey. The last Assassin's Creed game that I played fully was Black Flag. That's the last one that I played all the way and beat. And I played a lot of Unity. I really liked Unity, even though a lot of people hated it. But Black Flag was the last one I truly beat. So. Oh, scan instead of interacting with them. Gotcha. Sword is amazing. Oh, one second. Alright guys, just real quick, so my dad's here, So we're about to go head to the movies here in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna have to call it quits. But yeah, peaceful. Me and you can continue our conversation on Twitter, because yeah, definitely trying to. It was my fault. I started it, but definitely trying to keep the conversation away from that. But yeah, but guys, I do have to go. So I know that was kind of abrupt, but anyway, thank you guys for stopping by the stream, coming and hanging out, and I'll catch you guys later.